Ladies, let me tell you something. A man's touch ain't just a touch. Nah, every little tap, every little brush, every time he puts his hand somewhere, there's a whole hidden message behind it. You just gotta learn how to read it. Men, we don't always talk a lot. We don't always sit down and explain how we feel. But those hands, they tell the story. Now, when a man touches your back real gentle, like guiding you through a doorway, that's not just manners. That man is saying, I got you. You safe with me? That's a protector move. He's showing you without words, I'll make sure nothing happens to you while you with me. See, he don't got to say all that, but trust me, that hand on your back, that's his way of putting up a shield around you. But then, ladies, there's the touch on the lower back. Oh, don't get it twisted. That's a different conversation. That man is saying, I like you, and I want you to know I like you. He ain't just guiding you nowhere. He's making it clear, I'm here, and I want to be closer. That lower back touch is bold. That's him claiming territory without even opening his mouth. Now, let's talk about the face touch. Woo. If a man puts his hand on your cheek, brushes your hair back, or touches your chin, girl, that's serious. Men don't do that with just anybody. That's intimacy. That's him saying, I see you. You matter to me. I want this moment to slow down. You better pay attention when a man does that, because that's his soul talking. And ladies, you ever had a man put his hand on the small of your arm when you're talking, just a light little squeeze? That's not random. That's him saying, listen, I hear you. I'm connected to what you're saying. That's not lust. That's presence. That's engagement. That's his way of saying, I'm here in this moment with you. I'm not somewhere else. Now, on the flip side, y'all gotta watch out for the playful touch. You know, when he nudges your shoulder, taps your hand, bumps into you laughing, that's a man testing the waters. He's saying, do you feel the spark? Do you laugh when I touch you back? It's a man's little way of sneaking his feelings out without putting his heart on the line yet. If you laugh and lean in, now he knows. If you pull away, he just plays it off like it was a joke. Smart move, fellas. And don't even get me started on the hug. Oh, there's levels to hugs. A quick pat on the back. That's, hey, how you doing? But when a man wraps both arms around you, pulls you in, and doesn't let go right away, girl, he done told on himself. That man is saying, I need this. I need you. When a man holds on a second longer, that's when you know. See, here's the thing. Men don't always speak in paragraphs, but we speak in touches. Sometimes that little brush of his hand against yours says more than a whole love letter. Sometimes the way he places his palm on your knee while you sitting together says, you mine. I'm right here. So ladies, stop overlooking those small touches. They're not accidents. They're not random. A man's hands will tell you what's on his mind long before his mouth ever will. When a man places his hand gently on your back, it may look like the smallest gesture in the world, but underneath it is a message that speaks volumes if you know how to read it. Men aren't always good at putting their feelings into words, but their actions, especially the way they use their hands, can reveal truths that their mouths will never say. That guiding hand on your back, that light pressure as he moves you through a door or makes space for you in a crowded room is one of the clearest signs of what's going on in his heart. He's not just trying to be polite or practicing old-fashioned manners. What he's saying in that one simple act is, I got you. And that is more powerful than any line he could ever use. When a man cares, he doesn't just want to walk beside you. He wants to make sure you're shielded, that you're comfortable, that you feel secure while you're with him. Think about it. A man doesn't guide just anyone like that. He doesn't put his hand on every stranger's back. It's not a reflex, it's a choice. That choice means he's decided you are someone he wants to look out for, even in small ways that you may not even notice at first. The back is a vulnerable place. You can't see what's happening behind you, so when someone touches your back, it's both protective and symbolic. He's placing himself in the position of being the one who's looking out for you in ways you can't always see. He's saying, without saying a word, you can relax. I'll take care of the things you don't notice, the things that could come from behind. It's a quiet claim of responsibility, even if it only lasts for a few seconds. Now, sometimes women brush this off as just courtesy, like he's opening a door or helping you step aside. But the truth is, most men don't go that far unless there's something deeper. Courtesy can be a thank you, a nod, a smile. This is intimacy. This is a physical sign of your well-being matters to me. And here's the kicker. If he does it consistently, not just once, but every time y'all walk together, that's not just a nice habit. That's a man who's already settled in his mind that you are under his care. He's thinking of you in a way that extends beyond romance and into responsibility. Let me tell you why it matters so much. Men are built to protect. It's hardwired, even if they don't always talk about it. And that protective instinct doesn't come out for everyone. It comes out for the person who has stirred something in him, the person he sees as valuable, the person he doesn't want to lose. So when he places that hand on your back, it's his way of announcing, I see you as someone worth protecting. And that means something, because in a world where people are distracted, where everybody's looking at their phones, rushing to get somewhere, moving in their own lane, the man who takes even that brief second to think of your safety and comfort is showing you where his priorities are. Watch his body language when he does it. A man who's detached will walk ahead, leaving you to catch up. He'll open the door, but he won't look back. But the man who touches your back as you move together is the one who's saying, I'm with you. I want to be in sync with you. That small gesture creates connection. It establishes unity without a single word exchanged, and it goes even deeper. Because to guide someone, you have to notice them. You have to be aware of their pace, their space, their presence. That awareness is his attention, and attention is the foundation of care. Now, some men might do this casually, but pay attention to how often it happens and in what situations. If he only does it when you're walking into a restaurant, maybe that's just him showing off his manners. But if he does it when you're weaving through a crowd, when you're stepping off a curb, when he feels like something could bump you or make you uncomfortable, that's instinct. That's not rehearsed. That's his natural response to you. That's him acting out of a place of concern. And concern is one of the truest signs of affection. Sometimes women underestimate the subtle signs because they're waiting for big declarations. But real affection is in the details. A man can tell you he cares 1,000 times, but if he never shows it, those words fall flat. Meanwhile, the man who places his hand on your back each time you walk together may never give a long speech about his feelings, but he's proving them every single day. The consistency of that gesture is louder than promises. And let's not ignore the emotional layer to it. That touch can also carry reassurance. If you're in a situation where you feel uneasy, if the room feels too crowded, if the moment feels overwhelming, that little hand at your back is his silent way of saying, breathe. You're not alone. I'm right here. It's grounding. It's his energy flowing into yours to steady you. That's why some women describe feeling calm or comforted when it happens. It's not just physical contact. It's emotional communication through touch. There's also respect in it. He's not grabbing you, not pulling you, not forcing you to move. He's lightly guiding, giving you the lead, but letting you know he's supporting you. That balance speaks volumes. It says, I honor your independence, but I also want you to know I'm present. And ladies, don't miss this. The difference between a man who pushes and a man who gently guides is the difference between control and care. One is about power, the other is about love. Over time, if you notice it's always there, that touch on your back can become one of the most honest reflections of where his heart is. He doesn't need to advertise it. He doesn't need to make it dramatic, but that one gesture will keep telling you the truth. That's the beauty of it. Love isn't always in the grand gestures. Sometimes it's hidden in the small touches that keep happening again and again without being asked for, without being staged, without needing to be explained. When a man places his hand on the lower part of your back, it carries an entirely different meaning than a polite guiding touch on your upper back. This is not just about manners or simple gestures of courtesy. This is bolder, more intentional, more revealing of what he's truly feeling. That lower back touch is a signal, a whisper through his fingertips that says, I'm drawn to you and I want to be closer. It's the kind of touch that doesn't happen by accident because it's a more personal area, a more intimate space, and the moment he chooses to place his hand there, he's telling you a truth about his attraction. Men don't usually express attraction with long poetic speeches. They express it through action, through body language, through these subtle signals that speak louder than anything they might say out loud. The lower back touch is one of the clearest of these signals because it steps past the boundaries of formality. On your upper back, that's about protection. That's about guiding you through the world. But on your lower back, that's him telling you he wants to connect, that he's feeling the chemistry, that he's letting you know without words. I see you as more than just someone I'm being polite to. It's a claim, but not in the sense of ownership. It's in the sense of, I want to be here close to you right now. Well, think about when it happens. It's often in settings where he has the option to touch anywhere, your shoulder, your hand, your arm. But he chooses that spot. Why? Because the lower back is closer to intimacy. It's a delicate but bold choice. That means he's comfortable enough to let his interest show, but also deliberate enough to test your response. If you lean in, if you smile, if you don't move away, he knows you feel that spark too. Men use that area to bridge the space between playful affection and real attraction. It's almost like his way of saying, let me see if you feel the same energy I'm feeling and pay attention to how it feels when it happens. That touch lingers longer than an upper back tap. There's weight in it. It's gentle but firm, steady but personal. He doesn't rush it because that would defeat the purpose. He's sending a message and waiting for your body to answer. And it often comes at moments when he wants to show you, and maybe even himself, that there's something electric between you. It could be walking into a room. It could be when he's guiding you through a crowd, or even just in a moment where you're standing together and he wants that extra point of connection. That hand placement isn't random. It's calculated without feeling forced, natural without being casual. Women often feel it instantly, not just physically, but emotionally. Because when a man touches your lower back, it awakens awareness, you notice him more. You feel the closeness more. Your body recognizes the intimacy of it, even if your mind tries to brush it off. And that's exactly what he's aiming for. He wants to create that spark, that unspoken moment of something's happening here. It's not the kind of gesture he makes to everyone. It's selective. And because it's selective, it's meaningful. There's also something protective wrapped into it. Unlike the upper back touch, which is openly about shielding and guiding, the lower back touch combines that protectiveness with closeness. He's still guiding you, but he's guiding you while making sure you know he's right there with you, that he wants to reduce the space between you. It's like a mix of I've got you and I want you. That dual meaning is what makes it so powerful. If you really watch a man's intentions, you'll notice the difference between when he uses that gesture casually and when he uses it with purpose. A casual brush might come and go, but a purposeful placement is steady, lingering, deliberate. And if it's a pattern, if every time you walk side by side, his hand naturally gravitates to that spot, you can stop questioning what he feels. That repetition is his body telling you the truth his words might be too afraid to say. It can also signal pride. When a man rests his hand on your lower back in public, he's showing subtle confidence, like saying, this is the woman I want to be near. This is who I'm connected to. It's not about showing you off like a trophy. It's about showing presence, signaling that his attention is anchored on you. It's one of the few physical gestures that carries both a private and public meaning at the same time. To you, it feels intimate. To the world, it shows closeness. That's why it's so powerful. It speaks on both levels without a word being said. And ladies, sometimes that touch is about reassurance, too. If he senses you're nervous, uneasy, or even just lost in thought, that small placement of his hand can pull you back into the moment, grounding you with his presence. He may not even realize he's doing it consciously, but his body knows that the most effective way to comfort you without speaking is to touch you in a place that feels close, familiar, safe. That's the beauty of the lower back gesture. It's not just about desire, it's also about security. What makes this gesture so unique is that it doesn't have to be exaggerated or obvious to mean something. It can be quick, almost unnoticed by anyone else, but the person on the receiving end will always feel it differently. Because deep down, you know that placement is intentional. A handshake can be polite, a shoulder tap can be friendly, but the lower back touch, that's personal, that's deliberate, that's attraction mixed with comfort, intimacy mixed with care, boldness mixed with gentleness. Over time, if you pay attention, you'll see that the man who uses that gesture is telling you a part of his truth every single time. He might never sit you down and pour out a confession, but his hands are already doing the talking. And when they land on your lower back, what they're saying is simple but undeniable. I'm drawn to you, I feel connected to you, and I want you to know it without me having to say a word. When a man reaches out and touches your face, that's a moment that goes far deeper than most people realize. The face is one of the most personal, most vulnerable parts of the body, and it's not a place a man's hand goes casually. He can shake hands, pat shoulders, bump fists, hug, all of that without much thought. But when he chooses to touch your cheek, brush your hair back, or rest his hand near your chin, it carries an intimacy that words often fail to capture. It's not a move he makes with just anyone because the face represents closeness, trust, and presence. That touch is his way of saying, I see you, in the truest sense of the phrase. There's something about that moment that slows time down. A face touch isn't rushed. It isn't careless. It's deliberate. It might happen when he's leaning in to kiss you. It might happen when you're talking and he wants to bring your attention closer to him, or it could come in a quiet moment when no words are being exchanged at all. That's the beauty of it. Sometimes it's a gesture that happens when silence says more than language ever could. A man might not know how to articulate what he feels, but when his hand goes to your face, it's a confession that slips out through action. That touch is layered with emotion. For some men, it's a protective instinct, as if by holding your face, he can shield you from whatever worries or doubts are on your mind. For others, it's admiration. He looks at you and feels the need to connect, to show you that in this instant, nothing else exists except you. And in every case, it's vulnerable. Men are not taught to be vulnerable openly, but the act of touching someone's face is a surrender. It shows trust. It shows softness. It shows a desire to be connected on a level that goes beyond physical attraction. Think of the way a man touches your face compared to other gestures. A hand on the back is about guidance. A hand on the arm is about attention. But a hand on the face is about cherishing. That's not about moving you or directing you. It's about being still with you, taking you in, soaking up the moment. When his thumb brushes against your cheek or he tucks that strand of hair behind your ear, he's not just adjusting your appearance, he's telling you that your presence has captivated him, that he wants to linger, that he wants to memorize what he sees. It's also one of the most telling signs of genuine affection. Attraction can be loud, it can be playful, it can be physical in ways that don't always require emotional depth. But the face touch is different. It breaks down barriers. It's intimate without being overt, soft without being timid. It shows that he's not just after your body. He's interested in your essence, your emotions, your soul. That's why women often remember those small moments even more than grand gestures, because the tenderness of a face touch lingers in the heart long after it's over. And watch the context of when it happens. If it's in a moment of laughter, it means he cherishes the joy you bring. If it's in a moment of sadness, it's his way of offering comfort without words. If it's before a kiss, it's his way of deepening the connection and saying, "This means more to me." That gesture adjusts itself depending on the situation, but the meaning always ties back to intimacy and connection. A man doesn't need to explain it because the action itself speaks louder than explanations ever could. What makes it so powerful is the risk attached to it. Touching someone's face can't be brushed off as an accident. It's too personal for that. If his hand goes there, it's intentional. That means he's putting himself in a vulnerable position, because if you pull away or reject it, he can't disguise what he was trying to communicate. So when a man chooses a gesture, he's putting his feelings on the line in a quiet but undeniable way. There's also an element of reverence to it. The face is where emotions show up first. Your smile, your tears, your expressions, your eyes. By touching it, he's engaging with the part of you that expresses who you are most honestly. It's his way of saying, "I see what you feel, and I want to be close to it." That reverence can't be fake. It's one of those gestures that reveals whether his feelings run deep or stay on the surface. And don't overlook the power of stillness in that moment. Life is busy. People rush from one thing to another. Conversations can be shallow. Distractions are everywhere. But when his hand goes to your face, everything slows down. It forces presence. It pulls focus. It creates a bubble where only the two of you exist. That's rare, and that rarity is what makes the gesture unforgettable. Men who are emotionally invested will use that touch as a way to remind you that you matter, that you're not just another person in their day. Sometimes he may not even realize how much he's revealing when he does it, but his actions speak on his behalf. Even if his words fall short, his hand on your face tells you that he's present, attentive, and emotionally tied to you in that instant. It's not a gesture that comes from casual interest. It doesn't come from surface-level attraction. It comes from a deeper place, a place where he feels something worth slowing down for, something worth holding on to. That's why you can always trust the honesty behind it, because while words can be rehearsed, while actions can sometimes be performed for show, a man's hand reaching for your face is too natural, too unguarded, too raw to be anything other than real. When a man gives your arm a light squeeze while you're talking, it might look like nothing to someone else, but it's one of the clearest ways to tell he's paying attention, he's engaged, and he wants you to feel that connection. Men are not always the best at verbalizing their feelings, and sometimes they don't have the right words in the moment, but their touch fills in the spaces where words fall short. That squeeze on your arm is not about control or claiming space. It's about presence. It's his way of saying, without interrupting you, "I hear you, I'm with you, I'm tuned into what you're saying." It often happens in the middle of a conversation, when you're telling a story, expressing a worry, or even laughing about something funny. Instead of cutting you off with a comment, instead of over-explaining or trying to solve everything, he places his hand on your arm and applies that gentle squeeze. That's nonverbal communication at its finest. It's subtle, but it's powerful because it acknowledges both you and the moment. It's a bridge between his attention and your emotions. The arm itself is a neutral place, less intimate than the face or the lower back, but not so distant that it feels impersonal. That's what makes the gesture so significant. He's not trying to be bold or make a move. He's trying to connect. That squeeze is intentional, not accidental. He could just sit there listening, nodding along, but he chooses to add that physical gesture to reinforce the fact that he's present. He wants you to feel his reaction, not just see it. Think about how it feels in the moment. That little pressure on your arm grounds you. It brings your focus into the conversation in a deeper way. It tells you that he's not just hearing the words, he's processing them. He's emotionally invested in them. And he wants you to know that you have his attention. It's not just a squeeze, it's reassurance, it's encouragement, it's acknowledgement. It's him saying, keep going, I value what you're saying. Men often use this gesture in moments of vulnerability. If you're sharing something heavy, talking about something that matters to you, that squeeze can feel like a silent promise. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. He doesn't have to come up with the perfect response because that one touch already conveys his support. In many cases, it speaks louder than words could. It's comforting without being overwhelming, steady without being dramatic. And sometimes it shows up in moments of joy too. If you're laughing, telling a story, or celebrating something, that squeeze is his way of sharing in your excitement. It's his way of saying, I feel this with you. I'm part of this moment. That's the beauty of it. The same small action can adapt to both serious and lighthearted situations, always carrying the same underlying meaning of presence and connection. It's worth noticing when and how often he does it. If it's occasional, it may simply be an instinctive sign of empathy. But if it happens regularly, if every time you're sharing something important his hand naturally finds your arm, then it's more than habit. It's a reflection of how deeply he's invested in what you're saying, and more importantly, in you. That consistency tells you that he wants you to feel supported, that he wants you to never question whether or not he's paying attention. The timing of the gesture is also important. It often comes at key points in the conversation, when you reveal something meaningful, when your emotions rise, when you pause to gather your thoughts. That's when his hand moves as if to steady you, as if to anchor you. That moment of physical reassurance helps you keep going, reminding you that you're not speaking into empty air. He's absorbing every word. It can also signal restraint. Sometimes men want to say something but hold back because they don't want to interrupt or derail your flow. The squeeze becomes a way of expressing their reaction without breaking the rhythm of what you're sharing. Instead of jumping in with words, they let their touch say, I understand, or I'm with you. That restraint shows respect for your voice, a willingness to listen fully before responding. The arm squeeze also carries subtle emotional intimacy. It's not about bold attraction like the lower back touch, and it's not about deep vulnerability like the face touch. It's somewhere in between, a gesture that combines attentiveness with care. It's gentle, safe, but still meaningful. That makes it one of the most underrated but powerful ways a man communicates that he values you. In public, this gesture becomes even more noticeable. If you're out with others and he still reaches for your arm during conversation, it shows that his focus is on you despite distractions. He's not afraid to show others that he's engaged with you, that your words matter more than the noise around him. In private, it takes on a more intimate quality, as if the whole world narrows down to just the two of you and the exchange of that simple but significant touch. Even the pressure of the squeeze can carry different messages. A light, quick squeeze might be encouragement or agreement. A firmer, longer hold might signal deeper comfort, more intensity of presence. But either way, the underlying meaning is the same. It's a reassurance that you're not alone in whatever you're expressing. It's a reminder that your words and feelings have weight and that he's tuned in. What makes this gesture special is that it's so easy to overlook. To an outsider, it's barely noticeable. But to the person receiving it, it can mean everything. It transforms a regular conversation into a shared experience. It takes listening from passive to active, from surface level to connected. And in relationships, those small moments of reassurance are often the glue that holds everything together, because they show that the bond isn't built only on big declarations, but also on the quiet, consistent affirmations that come in the form of simple touches. When a man gives you those playful nudges, the shoulder taps, the light little bumps, when he's laughing with you, it may seem like nothing at first, but it's actually one of the clearest signs that he's trying to test the waters. Men don't always come out directly and announce their interest. They don't sit down and say, I like you and I'm trying to see if you like me back. That's too risky for most. Instead, they use these playful touches as a safe way to put their feelings out there while giving themselves room to play it off if you don't respond. It's a clever move, and it works because it lets him gauge the chemistry without putting his pride completely on the line. Those playful taps and nudges are usually lighthearted, full of energy, and often timed with laughter or jokes. They show up in moments when the mood is already fun, when there's already a little spark in the air. By adding a physical gesture to the humor, he's blending body language with emotion, trying to create a deeper connection without making it heavy or serious. If you lean in, smile, or touch him back, he knows you're open to it. If you pull away or keep your distance, he can act like it was all just a joke. It's a safe way of saying, do you feel this too? Playful touches are also a sign of comfort. Men don't use that kind of body language with someone they feel awkward around. It means he feels at ease with you, relaxed enough to step into your personal space, but also mindful enough to keep it light. He doesn't want to overwhelm you or come across as too forward, so he keeps the touch playful instead of intense. It's his way of saying, I want to be close, but I'm going to ease into it. That balance is intentional because it allows him to test how far he can go without overstepping. The interesting thing about these playful nudges is that they often come with a smile or laughter. They're not just about physical contact. They're about creating a shared moment of fun. That shared laughter becomes the cover for the touch, but underneath it, the gesture is carrying a deeper meaning. He's using humor as a bridge to closeness, blending the emotional connection with the physical one. And the more often it happens, the more obvious it becomes that he's not just joking around. He's making a habit of finding reasons to be near you. Think about the timing. A playful nudge often comes after you've said something clever, after he's teased you, or after a funny exchange. That timing matters because it's not random. It's his way of rewarding the moment, highlighting it, sealing it with a little spark of tact, like punctuation at the end of a sentence. But instead of a period, it's an exclamation point. He's saying, I like that. I like this energy between us. Those little touches become markers of how much he's enjoying your presence. It's also about testing boundaries. A man will nudge your shoulder today, tap your hand tomorrow, maybe brush against your knee another time. Each playful touch is a step closer, and he's watching carefully to see if you accept it. If you laugh, touch him back, or lean into it, he knows the door is open for more closeness. If you stiffen up or pull away, he knows to slow down. It's a dance, and the playful touches are his opening moves. They're light enough to retreat from, but meaningful enough to reveal his intentions. There's a boyishness to this kind of touch, too. It often mirrors the way young boys show affection when they don't yet know how to express it directly. They tease, they poke, they bump into the girl they like, not because they want to be rough, but because that's their way of breaking down barriers. That instinct doesn't completely disappear in adulthood. Playful nudges are the grown man's version of that same impulse. It's affection wrapped in fun, attraction disguised as joking around. Underneath, it's always about wanting to be close without risking rejection. And notice how his body language changes when he does it. His posture leans towards you. His eyes are locked in. His smile is wider. His energy is directed fully at you. That's not the behavior of someone being casual. That's someone fully engaged, fully present, and fully interested. The playful touch is just the most visible part of a larger body language picture that says, you've got my attention. In group settings, this gesture is even more telling. If he's surrounded by friends but still finds ways to tap your hand, bump your shoulder, or give you a light push when joking, he's signaling that you stand out from everyone else. He's choosing to direct the playful energy towards you. He could be laughing with anyone, but he's making physical contact with you, and that choice reveals where his focus lies. Over time, if these playful nudges keep happening, they evolve from being just jokes into habits of affection. What starts as light teasing can turn into casual touches on your hand, gentle brushes on your arm, and eventually more intentional closeness. The playfulness is the doorway to intimacy, and many men use it because it feels less risky, less intimidating than diving straight into serious gestures. It's how they open the conversation of attraction without saying a single word. And underneath it all, these playful touches are rooted in a desire to create connection. They're not just about breaking the physical barrier, they're about building a rhythm with you, a pattern of interaction that feels unique, special, and separate from how he engages with anyone else. They're his way of saying, I like this energy between us. I want to keep it going, and I want to see where it leads. That's why those little shoulder taps and nudges are never as little as they look. They're the unspoken beginnings of something much deeper. When a man hugs you, you have to understand there are levels to that embrace. A hug is not just a hug. The way he holds you, the way he lets go or doesn't let go, all of it carries hidden meaning about how he feels. A quick one-armed hug with a pat on the back, that's casual, that's friendly. That's just him saying hello or goodbye without much thought. But when he wraps both arms around you, when he pulls you close, when he lingers for just a few extra seconds, that's where the truth comes out. That's when you can feel how deeply he feels without him needing to say a word. The length of a hug tells you everything. If it's short, polite, over before you can even register it, then it's surface level, nothing deep attached. But when it lasts longer, when you feel his arms tighten instead of loosen, that's him confessing in silence. Men don't hold on to something unless it means something to them. That extra beat, that pause before he lets go, is his heart refusing to separate from yours too quickly. It's his way of saying, I need this moment, I need you, and I don't want to let it end yet. The strength of the hug matters too. If it's limp or half-hearted, that's disinterest or just politeness. But if it's firm, if you feel that pressure around you that makes you feel held, that's him telling you he wants you to feel safe in his arms. A strong hug is about more than physical closeness. It's about protection, security, and comfort. It's him saying, you don't have to carry everything alone. For these few seconds, I've got you. That strength is a reflection of his feelings, his desire to give you more than just affection. It's his desire to shield and to provide. Then there's the way he positions his body during the hug. If he leans in with only his upper body while keeping distance with the rest of him, that's reserved, distant, and not deeply connected. But when he pulls his entire body into it, when there's no space between you, that's vulnerability. That's closeness. That's him saying, I trust you enough to let down my guard. Men are not taught to be vulnerable easily. So when they give a full, close hug, it means they feel safe enough with you to let that barrier drop. Notice also where his hands rest during the hug. A hand high on your back is polite, respectful, and often friendly. But a hand lower on your back, around your waist, or lingering gently says something else. It says he wants connection, intimacy, and closeness beyond friendship. The placement of his hands reveals his intention, and when they rest in a way that holds you securely, it's because he wants to create a bond in that moment that goes deeper than just casual affection. A hug can also communicate emotion depending on the situation. If you've had a tough day, a hug that holds you longer is his silent way of absorbing some of that weight for you. He doesn't have to fix your problems. He just has to hold you long enough for you to feel lighter. If it's a celebratory moment, his hug might be tighter and filled with energy, a squeeze that says he's proud of you and excited with you. If it's a quiet moment, the hug might be softer, slower, designed to give you peace. Each variation says something different, but all of them are expressions of how tuned in he is to your emotions. The hug is also a test of chemistry. When he hugs you and lingers, he's watching to see how you respond. Do you lean in? Do you hug back with equal strength? Do you relax into his arms? Or do you pull away quickly, keeping it light? His hug is his way of asking without asking. Do you feel this too? That's why the hug is one of the most honest physical gestures, because it creates a moment where both people reveal something about how they feel. In public, the hug takes on another dimension. If he hugs you in front of others and does it fully, without hesitation, he's saying he's not afraid to show people his closeness to you. That's confidence, that's pride, that's his way of announcing. This connection matters to me, and I don't care who sees it. In private, the hug is more intimate, more telling. It's not about who's watching. It's about what he feels in that quiet space when it's just the two of you. In both cases, though, the way he holds you will always reveal where his heart is. Sometimes the hug is about reassurance for him as much as it is for you. A man who holds on tightly might be saying, I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose you. Oh, it's not just comfort he's giving. It's comfort he's taking. That's the mutual beauty of a hug. It's an exchange of emotions, energy, and unspoken truth. You can often feel his state of mind by the way he hugs you. If it's hesitant, he may be unsure. If it's strong and lingering, he's certain about his feelings. The hug is also one of the most primal ways humans connect. Before there were words, there were gestures like that. A hug is universal, and because it's universal, it carries meaning that can't be faked. A man may speak charming words, but the way he hugs you will always tell you the truth. It's an instinct, and instinct rarely lies. Over time, you'll notice patterns. If his hugs are always quick and light, that sets one kind of tone. If they're always deep, long, and strong, that sets another. If they change depending on your mood, that shows adaptability and awareness. A man who adjusts his embrace to what you need in the moment is a man who's paying attention. A man who's emotionally present. That adaptability makes the hug not just a physical act, but a form of communication, one that can say everything from I like you to I love you without a word spoken. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info.